finance, as you already know. Congratulations to Anta. That really is his training. He's a petroleum economist, isn't he? So he'll be able to do well in terms of bringing a sort of synergy between Ministry of Finance and Ministry of Energy, which they do need, don't they? Because they all talk about money. Okay, so that's Anta. Congratulations to him. And then the big story in Parliament that received the most cheers today was the appointments of Sticker. Sticker has been nominated for the Ministry of Trade, and so that received quite a bit in Parliament. So we will have a lot to do on the touch screen now. But at this stage, we will go to Parliament this morning. Our first story, though, is about Christian Atsu. We need to hear more of what's happening to the young man. We need to hear more about why what happened, and we need to understand where he is. In speaking about Christian Atsu, before I take the montage, I'd like to commend the people of Alpha R. And I've been told that yesterday there was stupendous prayer for Christian Atsu on Alpha R. And then the next day we hear that he's been found out of the rubble. I had wanted to speak about Alpha R earlier because I heard people criticizing the Alpha R pastor for some money issues during the 31st night service. And I like what DKB, the comedian, said. I'm not so sure why people get nervous when a pastor collects money. I don't understand it. Those of you who understand it, please let me know. I think that they get so afraid of the Christendom holding money or the spiritual people holding money. Because, yeah, at the El-Wak Stadium, the Alpha Hour held their all-night service there. It was heavily patronized, massively patronized. And then a video emerged after of people who had paid, I believe, offering or something like that. The money was being counted. It looked like a humongous amount of money. But yeah, so what? So what? If people who were not, a gun was not put to their head, decides to donate to Alpha R, what's the problem? And I don't get this thing. I mean, people have been saying, pastors are stealing your money, stop paying tithe, I will not pay tithe. If you don't want to pay tithe, you don't want to pay offering, by all means don't pay. Don't tell those of us who pay that we should stop paying, because we won't. Why won't we stop paying? Because we see the benefits thereof. Doesn't it make sense to people? They've been paying tithe since 1999 when you told them to stop paying tithe. The churches were in classrooms when he said they should stop paying tithe. The churches have built huge church buildings in Accra today. Some of the monumental buildings are church buildings. The same churches that were in classrooms that they were collecting the tithe that we said they shouldn't collect. Many years ago, Archbishop Duncan Williams bought a Mercedes-Benz. It was a big deal. And they said people shouldn't give him money again. Since buying a Mercedes-Benz, he's proceeded to buy this and buy that and encourage other pastors. Alpha R shows up and sets up a prayer something that people connect on internet to watch and listen to. And then you are saying that they shouldn't pay money. If you don't want to pay money to Alpha, please don't pay. But don't tell those who are convinced that they should pay that they shouldn't pay. You will fail. The same way people have failed. They've been telling us for 5,000 years that we shouldn't pay tithe. And we haven't stopped. And we won't stop. And more people are paying because we believe in the word of the Lord that says that give and it shall be given unto you. Press down, shake it together, running over. I, God, shall cause men. Very, very significant. I think we overlook some of the sentences. It said, give and it shall be given unto you. Press down, shaking together, running over. Shall I cause men? He, God, will cause men and women to give unto your bosom. So it is promised. And it ought to be believed by faith people that when you pay money to the cause of the gospel, you will receive it back in multiple fold, pressed down, shaking together, and running over. That's what the word promises. So if I decide to pay Alpha R, and you film it and go and put it out to show that the pastor is corrupt or pastors are corrupt or pastors, I totally cannot understand that. This is enterprise. Shatta Wale puts up a concert at the conference center. I would go to any Shatta Wale concert. I will go to any Shatta Wale concert when it's put up at the conference center because he's my man. If he asks me to pay X amount of money, I will pay and go and watch it. Nobody will complain about Shatta Wale presenting his talent and people going to watch. Nobody complains when Burna Boy comes to sing and people watch and they say that Burna Boy grossed $20 million out of the concert in Singapore. That's okay. But if Alpha Hour grosses $30 million out of the all-night service at the El-Wak Stadium, it is a problem for some people. Should it be a problem for some people? Then the church must pay tax. I don't get it. Nobody whipped anybody to pay money. The people pay the money. I pay all the time to the church, not to the pastor, not to the person of the pastor, but I am paying because I believe that the money is going to support kingdom business. And as my money supports kingdom business, I can hold on to the promise from the Bible that says, press down, shaking together, and running over. That's my personal faith, is my personal belief. Today, people are asking us to allow people to marry men. That's okay. Alpha Hour picks money and it's a problem. What has the church done to you people? What are you so afraid about the church? What is it about the church that makes you so angry? So that the church should be poor? What is it? Tell us, what is it about the church? The church has saved this nation from civil war. And I'm preparing some theses on that. Do you know that the activities of the charismatic church has dramatically changed this nation? For those of us who are over 45 years old, the nation that we saw when we were 13, and the nation that we saw later on, the extensive alcoholism that was in this country, the extensive smoking that was in this country, all the things that were happening that do not just derail individuals, that it also derails development. It also derails the development of the family unit. The charismatic church has come and sanitized all that. Because people went to the charismatic church, they were attracted to it, and the message of the gospel changed all of those things. And so today our country's demographics looks different. And then we still hate the church. The church shouldn't have money. The church should be broke. A pastor buys a Mercedes, Cheddar buys anything he wants. Nobody says anything. I love Cheddar. He's a great guy. He buys anything he wants. Nobody says anything. As soon as Pastor Obofo or something, hey! Alpha Hour, they went to Alpha, they collected money. So what? You started talking about Duncan Williams, he's not dead, he's still going on. You were talking about Daggy Ward Mills, he's still going on. Even journalists have written things about him, he's still going on. Because the church of the Lord will be built, and the gates of hell shall not prevail against it. The gates of hell shall never prevail against the church. Yesterday they prayed for Achu Alpha, and today we're also offering a Thanksgiving prayer for him. And I'm sure that it will be sorted. But please, let's stop this issue about the church gets money and we are nervous. As soon as money goes to a pastor, we are all over the place. Money goes to a footballer is okay. Money goes to a journalist is okay. Money goes to a musician is okay. Money goes to investigative journalist is okay. Money goes to pastor. No. He shouldn't get. Why can't he just have the hell work thing and nobody should pay money? He shouldn't ask anybody for money. Why? Why do we do that? I don't do Alpha, but a lot of my friends are encouraging me to do it. Yesterday I saw a little bit of it, and the fire is there, oh Charlie. The fire is really, really there. I'll see whether I can listen to them tonight, and then be encouraged. But please, let's stop that. Let's stop the antagonism against the church. That is our backbone. That's the backbone of this country. Has survived on that. Whether you believe it or not, this country has survived on the prayers of the charismatic mission. Otherwise, we would have gone the way Liberia went. It's because of the church. The enormity of the prayer of the church, the aggregate prayer of the corporate prayer of the church. That's what has brought us to where we are. And then we are against the church. The church gets money. We don't want the church to have money. We see church buildings. Hey, where did they get money? Hey, these pastors. You don't say, hey, these musicians. You don't say, hey, these politicians. But as soon as pastor has money, it's a problem. We have to stop that. Today, I don't have too much time. It's 20 minutes on top of the hour. I'll go to a touch screen now and we listen to what has happened with Achu. We'll come back, go to Parliament, and then we have our big story on the screen. Let's play the Achu montage again. Yesu coming home, and Yesu is really with the guy. Thank you for all those who prayed for him on Alpha last night. Let's go to the touch screen. Let's play the montage again as I walk. Welcome to the touch screen. Ibrahim, what do we have? So finally they found him, isn't it? And then what else?
Yeah, so the story, really, let's start from early Sunday evening when his club side, Hitaspor, played a football match. And you know, Achu has been finding playing time very difficult this season. This season he's played only 3 times due to injury and also non-performance. So on that day, actually, his team really needed a win. They needed a win to get out of the relegation zone, and he was brought in about in the 85th minute or so when they were drawing 0-0. In about the 90 plus 7 minutes, he came on, got a free kick and scored. So the goal that he scored that Sunday, the video is there. They can put it on the screen.
Let's see the video. Let's see the video of if it's ready.
Yes.
So this is the goal that he scored on Sunday.
Yeah, he scored on Sunday.
Oh,
his club really needed that goal to get out of the game. And they won that game by that goal, by a lone goal to nil. So after that, he tweeted a building which is 11-story building. He's on the 9th floor.
That's where he lives.
That's where he lives.
That's where most of the team live.
Yes.
Oh, I see. It's not a hotel.
It's not a hotel.
It's their home.
Yes, that's where he lives.
Okay, but they all happen to live in that block.
Yes.
I see.
He's on the 9th floor. It's 11-story building. He's on the 9th floor. So about 11:30, he went home, and his agent said by 11:30 he knew that he had gone to bed. So the earthquake really happened between midnight. That is Turkish time. Between that time, that's when the earthquake happened. And by 5:30 a.m. in the morning, the club had released a statement that all the players and club officials have been accounted for except Achu and also one club director who have not yet been accounted for at that time. And so it was said that he's still under the rubble and they are still trying to.
But those who had been accounted for in the morning, had some died?
No, none had died. No one had died, and no injuries were also recorded from his other colleagues who were accounted for. But he and one club official, and the club official up to now have still not been found yet. But Achu, fortunately, Metro TV were one of the first media houses to confirm that he had been found alive yesterday. By this time, that's when they reported that. But the club vice president reported that he had been found early this morning by 6 a.m. That's when the club reported that he had been found. So this is the area this is the area that Achu's team are based. That's the Hatay.
Okay.
That's the area that they are based. The earthquake the epicenter of the earthquake was Gaziantep. That's where 7.8 magnitude of the earthquake happened. So that's where.
That's significant.
Yes.
7.8 on the Richter scale.
Yes.
That's significant.
That's the epicenter. So Achu's side it's bordered by Syria. It's bordered by Syria. So the earthquake also affected some parts of Syria. It's at the southern side of Turkey. So that's where the earthquake happened, and that's where their side also got gravely affected. Luckily, he came out unscathed. But what we are hearing is that he has gotten a bit of injury. His right foot was injured, and he's recouping in the hospital now. So when the statement came that he had been found, we started getting solidarity messages from a lot of people. Before even that, former President John Mahama had released had written on his Twitter that let's continue to pray for our brother Christian Achu and his club director. The city of Hayat is in the region affected by the earthquake. Let's continue to pray. So that's before he was found. The president also, on behalf of the people of Ghana, also tweeted that on behalf of the government and the people of Ghana, I extend heartfelt condolence to the government and the people of Turkey and Syria on the devastation and the tragic loss of lives occasioned by Monday's earthquake. May their souls rest in perfect peace. Our hearts and prayers go out to the survivors, and we pray that our fellow Ghanaian Christian Achu is found safe and sound. So that's before he was found, and now he has been found. So we are waiting. No one has heard. He has not. His agent said his phone is not with him at the moment, so they've not spoken to him directly, but he's doing very well in the hospital, and he's recouping from the injuries that he suffered during the earthquake.
Wow. So is the league on suspension?
Yes. So far, a state of emergency has been declared by the President Erdogan in Turkey. So we are expecting that the league will be suspended and all major activities. About a week mourning has also been declared by the President. So the league will
5,000 people are reported.
Yes, 5,000 people are reported dead. And we are expecting it to go up because still some people have still not been found yet. So the numbers might go up also.
I see. So those clubs in Turkey that have to play Champions League soon, 2 weeks time, there's Champions League. Yes. What's going to happen?
I'm sure they'll prepare and play the Champions League as long as it's
that
not.
That will be Fenerbahce and Galatasaray.
As long as it's not affected. Those areas were not hugely affected. The capital, Istanbul, and also those in the western areas were not much affected. Those in the southern areas that were gravely affected by the earthquake. So the other clubs, they have not been gravely affected. There were also some Ghanaian players, 2 female players who were also in that area where it's happened, but they also were not affected in any way.
They are fine.
They are fine. Both of them are fine.
Pray that Achu will be well. Okay. Yes. Interesting. All right. Good story. We are cautiously optimistic. Yes, Man City, what's happening?
Yes, so Manchester City have been found. The Premier League did an investigation on in their books and found that they had breached some Premier League rules regarding financial fair play. And so the Premier League has sent the case to an independent commission to investigate further and see whether Man City will be found guilty or not, and appropriate punishments.
What are the potential punishments they may get?
They might be relegated.
For this season?
For
next season?
They might be relegated for next season. This season has already started.
So they will finish playing this season?
Yes. And
so they won't take points from them for this season?
Yes, we had a similar situation.
They could take points? Could they?
Yes, they could also deduct points. They could also deduct points.
How many?
We don't know. It will all be determined by the Independence Commission. They could also be stripped of the titles that they won, because the investigation spanned from 9 years.
Titles that they've won
during the 9 years period that the investigations happened. So they could also be stripped of the titles that they've won during those periods, and they could also be fined huge sums of money. UEFA actually found them guilty of a similar situation, but they sent it to CAS, and CAS, they won the case. They appealed at CAS because CAS said the UEFA investigations were outside the 5-year period That's the UEFA law. So they won that appeal over there, and they were only fined. UEFA had banned them 2 seasons in European to compete in European competition. So they won that appeal, and then Premier League also mounted its own investigation, because Premier League is not limited by that 5 years that TAS has said. So Premier League have mounted their own investigation now. They've moved it to an independent commission who are also doing.
When do we expect an announcement?
We should expect it by the time the season will end. I'm sure that
season end.
The season end.
That's a long time away.
Yes, we should expect that an announcement will come.
So they can be focused and pursue their chase of us now.
Yes.
Okay. All right, Ibrahim. Thank you very much. Let's, as we get cautiously optimistic about the actual situation, let's take the montage again, and then we swing to politics. All right. So we've been saying to you that 2024 is an important election for everyone. Now, this is an election where issues about running mates are more crucial than perhaps issues of the leader. That's our main topic for tonight. And I get excited, as I told you before, because this is from our own research. When we do news that originates from our own research, I get excited. So that's coming up shortly. It's very interesting, so you can't miss it. Now, though, I begin with these 2 gentlemen. Our good friend Johnson Asiedu Nketia, the General Secretary, the Chairman of the National Democratic Congress, and Alban Summanu Kingsford Bagbin, who is Speaker of Parliament. And I have the 2 men here for a reason. Last week, Johnson Asiedu Nketia said, and I'll play it back to you, that part of the reasons why he decided to reshuffle the minority leadership was that the minority was not getting on well with the Speaker. As soon as he said that, all of us suspected that this may not be true, because we know the situation of how the Speaker ascended to the authority. Haruna Iddrisu and Mubarak Muntaka were those who put up his name, and they've been working together very closely. In fact, they've been working together to the detriment of the New Patriotic Party, and the MPP has observed that. In fact, Chairman Sabusi spoke about that today. So when Johnson Asiedu Nketia said that part of the reason for the reshuffle is because Iddrisu Haruna and Mubarak Muntaka were not comparing well with Alban Bagbin. When I say comparing, I mean we're not engaging him correctly, and that's why he's changing them. We suspected that there may be another twist to the conversation. Tonight, we're putting together Asiedu Nketia saying to the press in London, well, it wasn't the press, to the NDC faithfuls in London last week, that the leadership of Parliament on the NDC side could not cooperate with Alban Bagbin. We'll show you that video, and then we'll show you what the Speaker said today about the leadership that is leaving. Here it is. Here's Asiedu Nketia first.
Why did we struggle to get an NDC person elected as a Speaker of Parliament? There are certainly some advantages, and those advantages can be tapped into when your leadership is cooperating with the Speaker. So we cannot have a situation where MPP leadership is cooperating with the Speaker and our NDC leadership have challenges cooperating with the Speaker. And if you are given a party whose leadership in Parliament is not working together, what will you do? You make the changes or you resign.
Sorry, we had a sound difficulty, so we're going to sort of rewind, as they say. So I just have to go through quickly. Johnson Asiedu Nketia and Alban Summanu Kingsford Bagbin. Asiedu Nketia gave an account of Bagbin's relationship with the leadership minority in Parliament, and then Bagbin appeared to have responded to that account today. Who is telling us the truth? Who is not telling us the truth? Here's Asiedu Nketia.
Why did we struggle to get an NDC person elected as a Speaker of Parliament? There are certainly some advantages, and those advantages can be tapped into when your leadership is cooperating with the Speaker. So we cannot have a situation where MPP leadership is cooperating with the Speaker, and our NDC leadership have challenges cooperating with the Speaker. And if you are given a party whose leadership in Parliament is not working together, what will you do? You make the changes or you resign.
Sorry about that. We still have a few difficulties. We need about 2.5 minutes to solve it. In that period, we'll take our first commercial break, and then when we come back, we'll be ready with our Seydou Katia story and a lot more to come. We'll be right back. Take the break.
Brunei, football from around the world. Feely on HD Plus from 17 January 2023. Score HD is available only on HD Plus channel on Right One.
A state-of-the-art facility built with your family needs in mind. A medical center positioned for all your fertility problems and other diseases. Medimosis Clinic and Prostate Center. Our goal is to help our patients achieve and maintain optimal health. We have fully functional OPD laboratories in all our branches. Do you have problems urinating? Medimosis is the ultimate solution. Our Prostacure X capsules and Prostacure Herbal Tea treat prostate problems. Afromosis capsules gives you maximum performance, and for the ladies, Femacure X capsules solves all your menstrual problems. Locate Medimosis Clinic and Prostate Center at Adenta Barrier near the traffic light, Ashaman Ajekojo, Kumasi Ahirima Kokobing, and in Accra Ministries after the Ghana Highways Yard. Call 0244 068 447. We accept National Health Insurance Card and all other private insurance card. Medimosis Clinic and Herbal Center, your ultimate solution for prostate problems.
Dummy dribbles to the right. He's got an opportunity on the edge of the penalty box. He's gone past the defense. This must surely be it. Goal! It's a goal!
Only 1 cedi 50 pesos. You can win up to 16.5 million Ghana cedis in the Betway Atina Ketia Jackpot. A jackpot muhine. Bet responsibly, not for persons under the age of 18. This advert has been approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana.
Secretary.
Yes, boss.
Patron Fakot document in bro.
Pacho Medeba. Boss, Pacho. Oh, sorry, boss. Boss, na edrobe name I'm say.
It's unti tontina 74 mix shanka.
Wow.
Oba air for general well-being.
Sir.
Very good. And money abet madam. Kope binato.
Any a crojio.
Kope binato. Ghana for se munim se medumani se metwitwa agi amanfo. Sa ena me hia edro a ebetwitwa agi me efi yare ahodro bebre. Na metumi agina me naso agi amanfo. Asemi num tontina 74 mixture. Emma mi apomodin. E supported me immune system na Emma mi asomdwe.
Edroyi nyema apemfo. Abata woma wo manufo. Ene nkoda woni mfie bi. FDA aje edwede nkrato yato.
Sorry for the few hitches. Sorry about that. We're back on. We had a technical problem. Okay, so let me recite the story. 10 o'clock, so we're running out of time, isn't it? Good evening, those of you who are just joining us. Welcome to Good Evening Ghana. Tonight, we have a lot to do on the touch screen about politics, but we're going to what happened in Parliament tonight. Johnson Seydou Katia said something about the minority leadership and Bagbin appeared to have responded today. Let's first listen to what Johnson Seydou Katia said.
Why did we struggle to get an NDC person elected as a Speaker of Parliament? There are certainly some advantages, and those advantages can be tapped into when your leadership is cooperating with the speaker. So we cannot have a situation where MPP leadership is cooperating with the speaker and our NDC leadership have challenges cooperating with the speaker. And if you are given a party whose leadership in parliament is not working together, what will you do? You make the changes or you resign.
The former members of the leadership, led by Honorable Haruna Idrisu, must be applauded too. Their record of performance is visible for all to see. And I hope the new leadership will continue to draw from their fountain of wisdom, trove of wealth, and experience. All I can say to the former leaders is, the Lord is your shepherd. You shall not want.
All right, so you heard that, and earlier today it was confirmed in Parliament that Kaysel Atuforsen and my good friend Amako Fibua, Member of Parliament for Elembele constituency, he would be the Deputy Minority Leader and Kaysel Atuforsen will be the Minority Leader. The Speaker wished them well, but I like the Speaker's prayer. He said something about Idrisu Haruna and Co. He said that a bigger door is going to open. I think I know the bigger door that the Speaker is alluding to. I'm going to show you on the touch screen very, very soon. So keep your eyes on this one. And thank you very much. We're going to now look at, can I have President Mahama's photograph over here? In fact, the first list of the singles, as we call it. The single photos are going to come and then we can deal with it in a minute. Yes, it's going to start with President Mahama. I can see him already on my screen. Okay, so I'm going to now do the analysis of the running mates thing. Just keep an eye on it, and as I go on, perhaps you will begin to understand, and then you can send some text messages. Let it start coming already on the Asidun Katia and the Bagbin conversation, and I'll take them. President Mahama is one of our focus stories for tonight. And then, no, let's have the singles, all of them, all the people we're focusing on. They're going to put it up very soon. And then, the singles, all the people we're focusing on. The President Mahama, Dr. Bawumia, Alan Kyerematen. Can I have that now? Okay, so this is Dr. Bawumia. He's one of those we're going to focus on today. We're going to ask Dr. Bawumia questions tonight. If he wins the MPP flag bearer, so who should be his running mate? To be able to break the 8. Break the 8 is novel. It never happened. As we now know, it was first said by Attorney General Godfrey Dame, later on repeated by Alan Kyerematen, that on the NDC side also, they have to break something. They have to bring a former president back. Convince Ghanaians that the former president who was deselected in 2016 should be selected in 2024. Deselected in 2016 and deselected in 2020 should be selected in 2024. That's a case NDC needs to make. That's novel. MPP needs to make a case that give us a third term. That's also novel. So both parties must do something dramatic, significant, politically very wise to be able to clinch that all-important victory to both of them in 2024. So we're going to focus on these men tonight. Dr. Alhaji Mamuni Bawumia, the Vice President. We're going to focus on Alan Kyerematen, one of the contestants of the MPP flag bearership. We're going to focus on Kennedy Japan, the new maverick on the block. He was on our show last week and he gave us a good show, who is also in there. We're going to focus on President John Dramani Mahama, who also has choices to make in this regard. And in the outlying case, if Dr. Dufour is able to upstage President Mahama, we're going to focus on Dr. Dufour as well, what he needs to do. So let's begin with John Dramani Mahama. And we have a montage for him, don't we? I sincerely hope that is ready. Let's take John Dramani Mahama. Yes, this is President Mahama. He's the one we are focusing on right now. Here's a montage for him.
Arise for Ghana, oppression of the land, for weather and seek your future. strengthen unity from billion to billion. The NDC shall lead stable democrat. Our strengthen unity. Ejo bana strength to unity from billion to billion. The NDC shall lead stable democrat. Our strength to unity from billion to billion. The NDC shall lead stable democrat.
Okay, so President Mahama is the focus right now. John Dramani Mahama is an interesting Ghanaian politician. He is the only person in the history of the whole Ghana's history, political history, who has been vice president and been president as well. There's no other person has been vice president and been president as well. Well, Professor Mills did that, but he didn't do it consecutively. Professor Mills was vice president, and then after a while he became president. President Mahama transitioned straight from vice president into president. In fact, his first his first incarnation as president was a dramatic overnight situation where under the constitution the president passed and therefore he had to be put in. Okay. Now he has had opportunity to choose running mates twice, and in both cases he lost the election. In one case he won the election in 2012, and in the second case he lost the election. So he has had to choose vice president twice. The first one he won the election. The second one he lost the election. Both running mates were fancies. Now President Mahama has indicated many times that he's still thinking about Jenana Opoku-Agyeman for the running mate slot if he wins the NDC nomination for 2024. How did he nominate? How did he indicate it? For instance, in attending the NDC's National Delegates Congress that elected Johnson Asiedu Nkatia as chairman, President Mahama walked in with Professor Jenana Opoku-Agyeman. So people are saying that he's going to run with Professor Jenana Opoku-Agyeman. Close associates of Jenana Opoku-Agyeman like Sammy Okudzeto Ablakwa will tell you that it's a sealed ticket. It's John Mahama and Jenana Opoku-Agyeman. Nothing is going to change it, okay? Now, new learning is coming in. The people are telling President Mahama that, look, you can't do that. You can't do that at all. Consider the interest of the party and go back to 2008. In 2008, Professor Mills told us that he was going to go with Mumuni for 2008 because we said that he and Mumuni actually won the 2004 election. And Professor Mills was fixated on that. But when new learning came, Professor Mills changed his mind. Let's look at this slide. So this slide here has Professor Mills here, John Mahama in the middle, and Mohamed Mumuni on the extreme right. Now, this was the tussle in 2004 when President Mahama was in his way out to be boss of the Commonwealth Parliamentary Union, something like that. He was a member of parliament, ranking member on Foreign Affairs Committee. But Professor Mills was running for the election, and he said, guys, I'm going with Mohamed Mumuni. And they said, no, you can't. You can't go with Mohamed Mumuni. This is a crucial election. The NPP now have elected Nana Akufo-Addo. They want to win a third term. They have more seats than us in parliament. We need to claw back our parliamentary deficit and then be able to win. We need to create excitement about our ticket. Mr. Professor Mills, you cannot go with Mohamed Mumuni because that ticket in 2004, even though the votes from 2000 to 2004 actually did increase. And Professor Mills made that point, that in 2000, I ran with Martin Amidu. In 2004, I ran with Mohamed, and the votes significantly increased. In fact, the NDC believed that the NPP did not win a first-round victory in 2004 elections. They believed that they were bullied out of the election victory. They were bullied out of the election, and NPP claimed victory. So Professor Mills is saying that, look at the significant improvement we achieved between 2000 and 2004 with the ticket of myself and Mumuni. John Mahama is saying that look at the significant deficits that we were able to claw back between 2016 and 2000 with Jenana Opoku-Agyeman. So why do you want me to change her? Professor Mills asked that same question. Look at the significant improvement we made between 2000 and 2004. Why do you want me to change Mumuni? But the people said, no, Prof, you can't do that. This is an election we need to win. And look at John Mahama. All the youth like him. There's some about him. At that time, President Mahama was yet thought to be one of the most clear thinkers in terms of political communication. It was said that he was a different kind of NDC person. He was not the NDC buga buga as they used to say. He was a gentleman NDC person. Professor Mills was told that if you want to grab the middle level, those who are non-committed voters, the young people, you definitely have to have a ticket that speaks to them. So go for John Mahama. John Mahama is being told today that, hey, chief, you have to have another ticket. There has to be some about the ticket. Jenana is a great person, but no. It is like Muhammad Mumuni. Change him. Get your John Mahama. So they are telling John Mahama, get your John Mahama. Don't go for Jenana Opoku-Agyeman. Get your own John Mahama of 2008. Will President Mahama listen or not? What are the options being thrown at him? Let's look at the options. So this is the main option. Professor Jenana Opoku-Agyeman and John Dramani Mahama is the main NDC ticket, all things being equal, but there's new learning, and the new learning is now going to show us the other pairings. Okay, let's move on. So we're dealing with Volta region. Okay, so people are telling John Mahama that, look at Volta region and look at the NDC. Look at how much Voltarians have struggled for the NDC. Recently, Fifi Kwete said, if you're a Voltarian, you carry NDC like a religion. The General Secretary said that. Now, people are telling him that, look, 3 significant people have passed. That may undermine our votes in the Volta region because we don't have any real developmental issues to show. So the NDC's campaign in Volta region is emotional, and that works. In politics, emotional campaign really works. So the campaign to Voltarians is emotional. It's not developmental. They are not pointing to the Voltarians and said, during John Mahama's government we did this, or during Mills's government we did. They actually don't have much to say. And the NDC, the MPP, when they go to campaign in Volta, they always ask the Voltarians, what did they do for you? Why are you always voting? So that's why when the Hohoe results came the last time, we were not surprised. Because Amewu did not do an emotional campaign. He did a developmental campaign. He showed them. He showed them really what is there. He showed them. Developmental campaign. And so the NDC's campaign with Volta is emotional. Therefore, they are telling President Mahama that 3 people have passed. Flight Lieutenant Rawlings, Captain Kojo Chikata, and Flight Lieutenant Rawlings' late mother. With these 3 people out, it's complicated about how we relate to Volta region. So President Mahama, forget about Jenana Opoku-Agyeman. Let's take a ticket that gives us the revolution we need in the millions of votes from the Volta region to be able to deliver it. If also we choose a Voltarian, other smaller tribes in the NDC feel that they will get to their turn as well. Because as we said before, since 1992, every election in the NDC has had a Fanti on the ticket. 1992, Konken Senaka, 1996, JEA Mills, 2000, JEA Mills, 2004, JEA Mills, 2008, JEA Mills, 2012, Pakwesi Misata, 2016, Jenana, 2016, Pakwesi Misata, 2020, Jenana Opoku-Agyeman. So since 1992, the National Democratic Congress has had a Fanti on all the presidential tickets. So they are telling President Mahama, can you balance it out somehow? Volta region. Who? Alexander Segbefia is the name they are putting to President Mahama. That look at Alex Segbefia. Take him as your running mate. Let the Voltarians see that they have something. They have a running mate on the ticket. And so they will come and vote because we have an emotional connection with them. We have to maintain that emotional connection. We don't have to allow our people to say this and that. If, however, President Mahama doesn't want Alex Segbefia, what should he do? He should go for Honorable Doe Ajao, the former Speaker of Parliament, a consummate NDC founder, and a real distinguished prosecutor. Doe Ajao is the name that they are recommending for President Mahama. That's very, very interesting, isn't it? Yes, it is very interesting. Others are also saying that President Mahama, what you need to do to win this election is to grab a running mate from the belly of the elephant. Why do you do that? You go to Ashanti region. That's the belly of the elephant. The citadel of MPP politics is the Ashanti region. Go there and grab a running mate. Let's make sure that we take that 30%, that all-important 30% that we need from Ashanti to clinch our victory in 2024 because we are about to win this election. Let's not make mistakes. So they are telling him that, so give me Ashanti. Do I have it? Yes. So that's Ashanti region map. They're asking John Dramani Mahama to go to Ashanti and look. I know everyone is waiting for the Bawumia parents. Please wait for it. It's coming, isn't it? It's really coming. There are Alan Martin parents and there are Kennedy Japan parents. It's all coming. So we are on John Mahama right now. So this Ashanti region, they are telling him that, look, you need to go to Ashanti region. Any other thought about going anywhere, it's a wrong decision, because this is about numbers. And Ashanti should be able to give us, if we get 30% and bring the MPP down to 17 Ashanti, we are most likely winning this election. So let's go to Ashanti. Who? Kojo Bonsu. But does President Mahama want Kojo Bonsu? I don't know, but many people think no. But why no? I don't know. Is it a good choice? It may be. Kojo Bonsu is Ashanti. He's Ashanti Royal. He was mayor of Kumasi. He's a football enthusiast. He's thought to be a great personality. He's an entertainment person. He knows how to galvanize young people. Kojo Bonsu is the epitome of brand building. Kojo Bonsu, if those of you know him, he's the epitome of brand building. If the 2024 elections is going to have a place for branding, then that's the man you're looking for. The same way President Mahama was branded in 2008, it was a lot of good branding done for President Mahama in 2008 as running mate to Professor Mills. That helped the NDC to win. Now, if the NDC considers that 2024 is going to be about branding and you want to take a candidate from Ashanti, you can't go beyond Mr. Bonsu. But will President Mahama consider that? I don't know. But these are the conversations going on around him right now. That I can assure you. We know that. Those are the conversations going on around him right now. Okay. Then this is Dr. Dufour, Kwabena Dufour, who President Mahama has obviously ruled out, because last week he said that if you are going to be 80 years, go and look after your grandchildren. Many people believe that he was referring to Dr. Dufour. But Dr. Dufour is yet presenting what may be a formidable challenge to President Mahama's entitlement to the NDC ticket. Many analysts don't believe that President Mahama is going to lose the election, but they believe that as time goes on, Dr. Dufour is really, really building up. Now, will they like to do a Reagan-Bush if they go to the contest and he becomes first and he becomes second? Will President Mahama agree that on the base of Ashanti do this when the man is 78 and is going to be 80 by the time? Okay, I don't know. Well, all right, let's go then now to the central region, which is where President Mahama has been selecting from all the time. So what's the central region politics? Any party that wins the election in central region wins the election anyway. So President Akufo-Addo won central region the last time. He won the election. Last election, a few changes occurred where President Akufo-Addo did not win Greater Accra, but won the election. But central region is still a battleground, isn't it? It's still the battleground that determines who is going to pick it up. Because you pick Ashanti, you pick Volta, you pick Northern, you pick Bron, you pick Eastern. The one who picks central, in addition to all that you all the time pick, is most likely to win. So there are people who are telling President Mahama that stay with central region. But now this we hear is coming from Asiedu Nkatia. This particular advice. He's telling President Mahama that stay with central region. By all means, stay with central region. But not Jenana Opoku Agyeman. So who would it be if you have to stay in central region, but it shouldn't be Jenana Opoku Agyeman? This coming from Asiedu Nkatia as we hear. Now pay attention to the screen. This is the ticket they are talking about. John Dramani Mahama and Kaysel Atuforsen, the current minority leader. So Asiedu Nkatia is presenting Kaysel Atuforsen as a minority leader to prepare him to become running mate to President John Dramani Mahama. He's already said that the election is going to be an economy. So you have to put the economy people in the forefront. So this is the ticket that is also being discussed. Kaysel Atuforsen come to be minority leader, prepared to become John Dramani Mahama's running mate. That's very interesting. Asiedu Nkatia does not want Jenana Opoku Agyeman. We know that for sure. Anybody can deny it. They know they can't deny it. It's true. Asiedu Nkatia does not want Jenana Opoku Agyeman. His secret reaction to Jenana's announcement, we know it. We know what his reaction was on that Sunday morning. We know what his reaction was to Jenana's announcement. We know it. So we know that Jenana Opoku Agyeman is not favored by Johnson Asiedu Nkatia. Now we are hearing that this is Asiedu Nkatia's preferred ticket. John Dramani Mahama stay in central region, keep Kaysel Atuforsen on the ticket as the running mate, economic advisory, chairman of economic management team. So they're always trying to look for a Bawumia effect. The Bawumia effect of 2013, 2014, 2015, leading into 2016 and catapulting the NDC to a significant victory. That Bawumia effect is what Asiedu Nkatia is looking for in Kaysel Atuforsen. Will Kaysel Atuforsen have a court case to be able to articulate himself the way Dr. Bawumia did? Will Kaysel Atuforsen present the town hall meetings and be able to articulate the economic problem the way Dr. Bawumia did? I don't know. But this is what they are looking for. Does it make sense? I think it does. Let's keep on watching that space and see what comes out of it. Okay, now, That's the tickets for Central Region. There is also another ticket, and it is the public policy ticket. So people are telling John Mahama that forget about tribe, okay? Forget about tribe. Ghana is bigger than tribe. Ghana is today ruled by millions of young people on social media. They are going to determine the election. Whoever wins the election on social media is going to win the election in the ballot, because Ghana is ruled by an army of social media. Young, old, middle-aged social media is controlling. Facebook is controlling. How many followers you have on Facebook as a politician is determining your traction. The traction that you are getting in the society is determined by your Facebook following. So, if John Mahama is going to make a public policy choice, it's being urged upon him that for a public policy choice, go for this man. This one. Ekufu Dampare, the Inspector General of Police. John Dramani Mahama should invite Ekufu Dampare to become his running mate. That's what he's being told. That look, if you get Dampare as your running mate, you finish the NDC people. You have discipline on your ticket. You have somebody who has social media attraction. You have somebody that people like. Some people may not like, but a lot of people like what he's doing. He's a police officer of distinction. There are no issues about him. Pick him as your running mate. Hooray! We win. Public policy choice. Don't worry how I got to know these things. I keep telling them, when you're having meetings, I'm the cockroach in the room. I'm there. Don't be surprised that, hey, how did he know? How did I know? I'm the cockroach in the room. I'm there. I'm the mosquito under the table, the one that bit you, and it is me. So I heard everything that you were saying. So that's how I know all these things. And every time you talk, I will put it on the touch screen. So when you do it, they will know that Paul said it. Okay, don't worry about it. So, all right. So this is it. Public policy choice. Ekufu Dampare, Dr. Ekufu Dampare, John Dramani Mahama. That's also being urged on John Mahama. That look, get this ticket, let's get a public policy, run with it and deal with it. Alrighty, let's move on. This is the other public policy choice. COP Kofi Boakye, I like to call him that. He knows why I call him that. COP Kofi Boakye is also being talked about to become the running mate of John Mahama. Now, those who are pushing the Kofi Boakye agenda, I call him Kofi Boakye. It's Kofi Boakye, but I call him Kofi Boakye for a reason. We have our own issues, our own nice conversations we have. So he knows why I call him Kofi Boakye. There's another person who knows, but I won't say it. So COP Kofi Boakye and John Dramani Mahama as a ticket. Now, those who are pushing these tickets are telling President Mahama that, look, this guy is also Ashanti. He was Ashanti Regional Commander, a very successful one. You can get inside there. And you want a ticket that tells Ghanaians that, look, we are coming for one term and we are going to deal with it. Discipline will be discipline. Corruption will be hit against. This will be that. The policeman is in charge. All of that. Okay? So they are saying, take Kofi Boakye and revolutionize your ticket. The day you introduce him, all cameras will be on him. All cameras will be on your ticket. All cameras will be on his campaign. Everybody will be following Kofi Boakye and watching how he's doing it, because they're not expecting it. So John Dramani Mahama is being told that for your public policy, take ACP, COP Kofi Boakye or Ekufu Dampare. You want Ato Forsen, you can take him for Central Region, Sedun Ketea's choice. And then you have here Dr. Dufour, one candidate for Ashanti. There's a Sapon as well that I didn't mention. Sapon is also being considered. Sapon is also being considered for the John Mahama ticket. Kojo Bonsu, you want him, you can take him. You might not want him. Okay, now if you want to do a Volta region, Doa Jao, Alexander Segbevia is also there. But you want to go all the way and keep Jenano Opoku-Agyeman. Many of the people around John Mahama are saying, keep Jenano Opoku-Agyeman. Many of the people outside John Mahama's inner circle say, oh boy, you got to change. You got to change so we win. You got to change. I'll take the text messages on this one at 23 minutes past 10 o'clock. When I come back, I am doing the big one. Alhaji Mumuni Bawumia and his choices, his options was open to him. What he can do, what he cannot do. This is Good Evening Ghana. It's live. I'd like to start with you, Karen. What are people saying?
Okay. Thank you, Paul. So this is from Don Kwesi Pedro. He's saying, God of Achu, may you locate me and protect me and my loved ones. Amen. Samira Bawumia is saying, the song really fits this situation. This just got me emotional. Thank God for the life of Christian Achu. I believe in God and a proud Alpharian, Kwabena Poku. Kojo Bachi saying, at first I made mockery of Alpha R anytime I saw their link on people's status on WhatsApp. Today I believe, today I know Alpha is real. Today I am on board. I will leave Alpha R the very day pigs begin to fly. Master Planner says Christian Achu is a man of charity. God will never shame him. We thank God he is still alive. We hope and pray he can continue playing his football. Amen. Greetings to the chief engineer Ode. Over to you.
Okay, so this is coming from James Jani. He says, what does Essedu Nketia mean by cooperating or not cooperating with the speaker? If mischief and evil-minded politicking is what he calls cooperation, then God have mercy on us. Coming from Prince Nuruddin Baumia, he says, the future is bright and promising for DMB and Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh Napo to break the 8 easily. Let's look no further than these two solid doctors, powerful and most influential gentlemen in the NPP. Mahami Adams says, good evening, Paulos. It is clear that General Mosquito does not like Haruna Idrisu and Honorable Muntaka. It is a big advice to we the Northerners and Muslims as well. Victoria Abigail Bafu says every nation needs an apple. Every time this country has witnessed economic crisis, the first sector that's affected is energy. There is always load shedding. He has kept the light on in the midst of all these. What a gift to the nation. Let our party select Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh for a running mate regardless of who will win the election. He is leadership personified, and this is coming from Dixon Owusu Ato. Alidu Omar from the University of Education, Winneba says, Paul, I think Osei Mensah Bonsu should be the running mate to Dr. Baumia, even though I will wish Honorable Peter Amewu to be Baumia's running mate, but that decision could cause calamity for the NPP. Alidu from UW campus. Akoto Emmanuel Ado says the cat is out of the bag. Esiodin Ketia says they struggled before getting the speaker's position. Strangely, NDC is one person short in their numerical strength at Parliament. It means one traitor from the NPP obviously voted for the NDC. Indeed, that traitor knows herself. It is alleged that pecuniary benefit may have changed those hands. Coming from Kweku Dennis, even though I don't believe in politics of religiosity, but as far as 2025 is concerned, NPP should respectfully break the 8 with Napo and be the first Christian to be a VIP from the NPP tradition. Sibawe Bauer says the grassroots hails these fantastic and hardworking personalities to lead and break the 8 for the Elephant Fraternity. They have been tested before they have successfully passed. Baumia and the Napo is the absolute and best pair. Kweku Dani says you always need a versatile and a thinking running mate who will add something to the ticket. Therefore, let's do Napo. Lastly, coming from Jikhan Nalasanga, all what the Mahama camp sought to do is to do damage control to the future presidential aspirations of Honorable Haruna Idrisu. Sami Jemfi said it clearly one time that Honorable Haruna and Muntaka are in bed with NPP and will manage to convince the NDC grassroots to accept that propaganda. God is Haruna's shepherd. Dr. Matthew Opoku Prempeh should be only non-economist to enter the Jubilee House with his diverse knowledge on the developmental issues. Over to you.
Red Baptist says, good evening, Paul. Please, can you pick a person who is not a party member to be a running mate? By the way, is he a card-bearing member of the NDC? Now, moving on, we've got from John, watching us from Teshi. He says, we want Mahama or Dr. Spiro for 2024 because of what he calls endemic corruption. Farouk Tema says, the NDC Congress rejected Ofosu Ampofo's democratic leadership and opted for General Mosquito's unilateralism leadership. Clearly, Chairman Essedu Nketia cares less about any democracy in the NDC. He's living the revolution days. He continues, breaking the 8 is possible. Dr. Baumia is ex-President Mahama and NDC's nemesis. NPP, let's vote massively for DMB. Sure. Junior Agba, watching us from Tamale, says, good evening, and Paul and my lovely brothers and sisters. So far, we the good people of the northern region are concerned Honorable Haruna Idrisu was removed as minority leader because he is a northerner. So So the good people of the 5 northern regions should take note of it. The NDC is not our party, so come 2024, vote DMB. Sure. So Med, watching us again from Tamale, says, Asedo Nketia is playing with fire and should brace up for the heat. Haruna Idrisu is not only Gandu, but a pillar in the NDC in northern Ghana, and you malign him to your detriment. Don't say we didn't warn you. Let it be on record that Johnson Asedo Nketia can never beat Haruna Idrisu in any contest in Ghana. He must get that double quick and respect the former leaders. No amount of propaganda and knee-jerk reaction will save the NDC unless something is done to appease the brothers. And lastly, Sumed from Tablet again says, Paul, it's unfair how we all prayed for the safety and survival of Achu. You need to acknowledge that Muslims and Christians all prayed, and it must be on record. Alhamdulillah that he has been found alive, and Allah be praised for his life. Back to you, Paul.
Okay, let's get back to the touchscreen. Thank you very much for your time. Viewers, let me get back onto the touchscreen and deal with it. All right, so we finished with President Mahama. We are now on the Vice President, Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia. Somebody sent me a text that you've been calling him Mumuni Bawumia. He's not Mumuni Bawumia. Oh, I'm sorry about that. His father is Mumuni Bawumia. Okay, let's go to... so this is Dr. Bawumia. Now, what's the narrative about Dr. Bawumia? The narrative is simple. Dr. Bawumia is catapulted to political fame, especially after the 2008 election was lost. Then came 2009, and then came 2010. It was... By the time he was selected in 2008, it was too short for people to sort of get a feel of him. People knew of him as Dr. Bawumia at the Bank of Ghana. People knew of him. But in terms of getting a feel of him, the time was really, really short. So that was an Akufo-Addo campaign. 2008 was a campaign run on Akufo-Addo's shoulders. Fundamentally that. Nothing more, nothing less. Then the election was lost, narrowly as it were. 2009 came, then came 2008. Then came the promise of free SHS ahead of 2012. It was in the 2012 election that people began to get a feel of Dr. Bawumia, because then he started speaking, he started talking, he was engaging with people, I interviewed him before, and then people started to believe that this guy is he knows how to talk. He's a rabbit talker. He knows how to talk. He's very articulate. So people started, the Bawumia is not bad. Then he was focusing on the economics thing, and then he created a sort of niche for himself, that he is the politician who is not a classic politician, but he has become a politician. He's focused on dealing with the economic issues. Then came 2012, it was lost. Then came the court case, where Dr. Bawumia didn't speak as an economist, he spoke as a data analyst. And wow, did he not impress the people? Everybody who saw the court case was impressed that Dr. Bawumia, and then the sound bites came, you and I were not there, we don't know what happened, polling station. His understanding of the electoral process, which is pure data analysis, was sublime. And people liked that. Okay. Then the election was won. Then he became vice president. Then he did a speech and said, I've taken the keys of the dollar and locked it with the IGP and all that. And Dr. Bawumia is a kind of propagandist. He has the sound bites. He does have the sound bites. You can't take that from him. Okay. So economy went through, and then the second term of election came, and then came COVID, and then the economy went down, and the economy is still down, and it's in a critical situation. So people think that, Dr. Bawumia said he's an economist and the economy is not working. I always tell them, those who say that, yeah, the economy is in crisis. Okay, Dr. Bawumia inherited an economy of 3.4 from the NDC and its people in 2017 as economic management or economic risk aid, whatever you call it. After inheriting 3.4 growth of the economy, Dr. Bawumia and his team added more bill to the economy. The economy was paying more because they added teachers and nurses training allowances, free SHS, all of those things were added to the budget of the country, inheriting the economy at 3.4. In addition to adding, they were able to grow the economy, having added more bill to the economy. They grew it in 2017, 18, 19, 20. So my concern has always been, if you cannot say that this team of Dr. Bawumia and Ken Ofori-Atta, Akufo, all of them, if you can't say that they were bad economic managers in 17, you didn't say that. 18, you didn't say that. It doesn't take 5 years to evaluate a government. Within 2 years, you can evaluate a government. So 18, you didn't say that. 19, you didn't say that. Don't come and say 2021, because in 2021, you cannot find a single country in the world, of the 195 countries or so, you cannot find a single country in the world whose economy will post anything positive in 2021. And I'm referring to Japan, America, China, Italy, England, and all of a place like Italy, it's possible that Ghana's economy was showing better than them post-COVID. and post-Russian-Ukraine war. So we are still, the jury is still out on that, and we don't know what it will say. But my view of the matter is that if you have to say that these managers are bad, they didn't take a juicy economy. They didn't inherit milk and honey. They inherited straw, and they grew it to a certain level. They say that the international thing that happened is what has occasioned this. I am tempted to believe that, because if they were bad managers, when they picked up straw, they wouldn't have turned it into growth. But that's what they did. Anyway, so this is Dr. Bawumia and his narrative. Now people are saying that, look, if Dr. Bawumia must win the MPP nomination and must win the national election, he has to do something dramatic about the running mates thing. It's not just a simple, I'm from the north, my running mate is from Ashanti, I'm from the north, he's from the south, I'm short and he's tall and I'm short, I'm fair and I'm dark and he's fair. No. It has to be a choice that speaks to revolution, that speaks to hope, that speaks to unity of the party, and that speaks to a certain expression of consistency with the development agenda. That's what the ticket must represent. Anything else, it doesn't work. Other people say that with Dr. Bawumia, because he's Muslim, he may have to look for a ticket that represents a Christendom, so that you can have a religious ticket. The jury is still out on whether or not Ghanaian youth are going to vote with religion in mind. We've seen the data analysis that I presented earlier that said that delegates do not think of religion. But we don't know whether the broader, outside MPP, broader Ghanaian group will think of religion. If they will, then Dr. Bawumia has a religious question to answer. Does he also have a public policy choice to make, like we discussed with President Mahama? Maybe. So Dr. Bawumia has a political choice to make, religion, public policy as well. So now let's go through the list. Okay, good evening, Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia. You have a lot to achieve. So people are saying that, Dr. Bawumia, your choice is simple. If you go to this Congress and you win, we believe that the choice, the fight is between you and Alan Kyerematen. You here, Alan there. Please, if you win, just take Alan as your running mate. Is there precedent for that? There is. There is precedent for that. So this is the ticket that they are calling for. That Dr. Bawumia, if you win, just pick your senior brother as your running mate. That's where you unite the party. Now, what's the biggest precedent for this choice? The biggest precedent for this choice, you have to go all the way back to 1980. Then you have to go to the United States of America. And you have to remember the Congress of the Republican Party, the GOP Congress in 1979 for the 1980 election. It elected the outsider, Ronald Reagan. He was the outsider, and he defeated the CIA director, George W. Bush. Now, George W. Bush was the presumptive winner of the Republican Congress. As soon as George Bush said, I wanted to be a Republican leader, he was a presumptive person. Reagan began his campaign in California here and there, and then almost like a Kennedy Japan, that he was going through like that. They would say, oh, Reagan, are you sure? Oh, but he's a comedian. Oh, he's a film star. Is he sure? Is he sure? Is he sure? Bam, Reagan won it. He won the Republican nomination. George Bush came second. There was fights. Like when Samson was shaking the building, this historical Samson. Yeah, there was fight in the Republican headquarters. The building was like shaking. George Bush has been beaten by Ronald Reagan. The director of the CIA lost the primaries. What? What's going to happen? Big deal. So Reagan is called. Say, Chief, the politics, you just came. You are not a politician. You just came. You won the thing. Listen, take George Bush as your running mate. Okay? Reluctantly, Reagan agrees. Okay. And that the pair win 3 terms. They win 1980, they win 1984, win 1988, and they lost 1992. Why did they lose 1992? It is rumored that the people who supported Ronald Reagan did not want George Bush to have 2 terms the same way Reagan had 2 terms. So they brought in their friend, a rich man called Ross Perot, who ran as independent candidate to take away votes from George Bush when he was looking for a second term, so that a young man from Arkansas named Bill Clinton will rise up to the presidency. That's the rumor. But the Reagan people and the George Bush people, they never saw eye to eye, even after working in government for 2 terms. And the Reagan people came back to undermine George Bush by presenting Ross Perot. I don't know. This is the rumor. You find it in some of the books. Some people deny it. When you go to Congress, it's a story that is hanging around the American Congress as well. So this is what they're asking Bawumia to do. You win, you take Alan. No issues. You go through. And then the others are saying that, wait a minute. What are you talking about? Dr. Bawumia's choice must be based on what is happening. Current situation. Ghana is a young population. All the young people are deciding on the issues in the news. So Dr. Bawumia cannot have a classic politician choice. I am Dr. Bawumia, then I take Alanche Martin. No. It must be a revolutionary choice. And it must flow with the times. It must flow with what people are saying. It must flow with where the Choboy is going. And who is carrying the Choboy if he doesn't win it? The Choboy they believe is carried by Kennedy Japan. So Alhaji Bawumia, grab Kennedy Japan for your running mate. Can you imagine that? Can you imagine that? This is another matter. This is what is now holding the meetings in MPP. This is what people are listening. But they say, looks like something interesting. Hey, are you sure? I actually put the question to Kennedy when we were having conversations after the interview. I won't tell you what he said, but I put the question to him. So this is the ticket that they are talking about. Alhaji Bawumia, grab Kennedy Japan. When you do that, you have put out a ticket that is responding to current trends. Kennedy Japan is carrying the narrative. He carries the current trend. He's founder of Afrochella. He's the young people die. And in the campaign, can you imagine these two men running a campaign against John Mahama and Jenna Opoku-Agyeman? Whoa, you have to get ready for it. You have to get ready for that campaign. When John Mahama gets on the, John Mahama is a great campaigner. He gets on the campaign trail and he's doing his Okada and talking to Okada people and carrying them along and say, look at Dr. Bawumia. Look at Dr. Bawumia is hitting at him and say, where is the incompetent one? Imagine Kennedy Japan comes and says, what did John Mahama say yesterday? Jenna Opoku-Agyeman, and he's central, Jenna Opoku-Agyeman is central. That's the issue. The point they make against these tickets for Dr. Bawumia, though, is that Ken is an Ashanti person, but he's in Asante Central Region MP. How will Ashanti's response be to this ticket? So this is another ticket that people are considering. Note it down. Let's move on. Okay. This is the most talked about of the Bawumia pairings. And it's been talked about for a long time. It's probably the leading conversation, but I don't know whether it is beginning to collapse at this stage or whether it is working. Now, what is the strength of this ticket? Strength of the ticket is that Napo is Ashanti Royal, I have to say. And therefore, he is from the real belly of the elephant. If you grab him out of there, you get all of Ashanti support. That is the analysis being made. Napo is also a great campaigner. And he also has a great understanding of the intricacies of elections. After all, he's been election director for the party for a long time. So in terms of polling station analysis, who are we selecting here? He understands that kind of thing. What he understands the most is the voting day operation. And people are saying that, but Napo doesn't have to be on the ticket to be able to present his skills for voting the operation. He's been doing it for the party all the time. So why must he be on the ticket to do that? Why can't we have another person on the ticket? Well, so this is the oldest conversation of the Bawumia agenda, but people think that there should be other options. What's the next option we are looking at? Napo's former deputy. And it's creating a lot of problem between the Duchum people and the Napo people. This is Dr. Seya Duchum. Now people are telling Dr. Bawumia that, look, after 2 terms of this Akufo-Addo government, there's still the strongest point that you have is education. Akufo-Addo's government, if you are inheriting Akufo-Addo's government, you are campaigning on the record of Akufo-Addo's government. Education is still the strongest. It may not be the quality, but the access to infant swim, access to Wesley Girls, access to Achimota School, access to Presec, and getting our children out and getting bigger scholarships in this era. Akufo-Addo takes that credit 1,000%. He doesn't share that with John Kufuor. He doesn't share that with John Mahama. He doesn't share that with Professor Mills. Free SHS is Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's policy, full stop. So if you are running on Akufo-Addo's legacy, you can't ignore education. You have to put it at the forefront. And who is the education guy? Seya Duchum. Incidentally, he's Christian. Incidentally, he's from Ashanti. So they're telling Dr. Bawumia that perhaps you pick this. Counter argument. Educhum and Bawumia is normal. Normal tickets. Bring something revolutionary. You want to break the 80, you can't be normal. You have to be revolutionary. Dr. Bawumia himself is revolutionary. This is the first time, if he gets selected, the MPP is selecting a northerner to lead it. That's revolutionary. That's new. That's breaking something. So if you want to break the 8, start by breaking other things. And if you bring a ticket that's not revolutionary. But let's see how. There's still a lot of time. Something may happen in education that will make Dr. Duchum now become the revolutionary ticket. Something may happen in energy that will make Napo now become the revolutionary ticket. Something may happen in the campaign that will make Kennedy Japan remain the revolutionary ticket. So let's see how it goes as we turn it around. Who is next? Okay, this is the other ticket. John Mahama said that the Ghanaian population is essentially youthful. And therefore, you have to have a very youthful ticket. Mind you, John Mahama's running mate, the presumptuous running mate, Jena Opoku-Agyeman, will be 72 or 73 at the time of the elections. It's not 80 though, but 72 or 73. President Mahama himself will be 67 or 68 at the time of the elections. So this 80 thing, it might affect him more, but let's keep our eye on the focus. So young person, energetic, shows that he shows the example of how young people have been given opportunity and they have made it happen. They have risen into their job. He has a lot of respect among diplomatic community, among young people. And where does he come from? He comes from BA. He's a lawyer. And so, Dr. Bawumia, consider Godfrey Dame for your running mate. Okay? That's another ticket. And these tickets are choices from the cabinet. That's how we themed it. These are choices from the cabinet. I'll come to the religious choice. I'll come to the business choice. And I'll come to the public policy choice before we wrap up on Dr. Bawumia. Let's go. Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah is here. Now, Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah is also being talked about as a good running mate for Dr. Bawumia. Why? Because it says he brings decency into political communication. And you're going to have the NDC, especially with the kind of radical leaders they've selected, there's going to be a lot of vitriol in the campaign. For the MPP to secure the good sense of the Ghanaian people, the discerning, large, discerning, quiet majority of Ghanaian people, you need a campaigner that is very decent in his language, that does not respond to the vitriol of the NDC, and that's Kojo Oppong-Nkrumah. Young, he's from Eastern Region, a broadcaster, successful Minister of Information. Dr. Bawumia, they say, take Oppong-Nkrumah along. Okay, let's see what the next one is. Now, Central Region is a question, isn't it? Central Region is a big issue. And Dr. Bawumia is being told about this ticket that, look, we also need to plug into the Central Region and make sure we have dealt with it. And if we roll out the whole Central Region around wrap it around our shoulder, we have won this election, because we're going to pick Ashanti, we're going to pick Eastern. With you, Dr. Bawumia, we'll pick the 3 northern regions. We'll do very well in northern region. We can even win Kintampo, etc., because there are lots of Mampugus in Kintampo, and they are Dr. Bawumia's people. And then the large Islamic community around the country, that's all going to vote for Dr. Bawumia. Let's get Central Region as well. Who should be the person for Central Region? Koko Furiasiama, the man from Denchira. He is the one, Minister for Transport. They said, Dr. Bawumia, please pick the Minister for Transport and let's get on with it. After all, the Cape Coast Airport is going to be done. And when it is done, you and him will come there and announce the tickets. So you can win all of Central Region. That's the advice going to Dr. Bawumia. Next is Deputy Chief of Staff, Carlos von Brazzi. Now, when we're doing this discussion, but people said that, oh, but why are you adding Brazzi? But is Brazzi a politician like that? I said, hey, you don't know that he's a politician like that? He is. Okay, so where is the choice coming from? The Jubilee House choice, okay. You're going to have a campaign that's going to be run on national security, data, and all of that. Von Brazzi is one of those who's a repository of a lot of the data about Ghana's politics, the politics towards election and all of that. His loyalty to the Akufo-Addo government. He's been working in the national security circles for a long time. So we present him as the typical American type of vice president. Quiet but very, very effective. Little to say but very effective. So you, Dr. Bawumia, run all the campaign. Let Von Brazzi be at the back and deal with the issues. Okay, we'll see what next. Now, the gender tickets. So they're asking Dr. Bawumia, but what about gender? Why don't we do gender? And they said, but if it's gender, who are we thinking about? I said, oh, but if it's gender, you don't have to go far. Pick them. You have been doing digitalization. And you have been successful with digitalization. Minister Esla is digitalization. She has political prowess. And yes, Esla does have political prowess. A lot of it. And so, please, pick her as your running mate. Run with it, and you're going to campaign against John Mahama. You know that these Asiedun Ketia and Sami Jemfi are going to come at you. Esla will deal with them. Booth for booths. Program for program. Free SHS for free SHS. Doomso for Doomso. Esla will deal with it. And you want to have a woman on the campaign platform that can really charge and electrify the people. So, Dr. Bawumia, Esla Usu, it's your choice. All right, let's move on. Now, the religious choice. So people are telling Dr. Bawumia that Muslim, you're a Muslim, doc. Some Christian fundamentalists are not going to even listen. They will not even check that, oh, what kind of Muslim is he? Muslim means they can't vote for you. They will either stay home or they will vote for another person. Unless you have a bold religion ticket. A bold ticket that's esteemed on religion. So then they ask them, so if it's esteemed on religion, who should we take? They say, by President Akufo-Addo's guy. Who is President Akufo-Addo's guy? Oh, the former Pentecost guy. What is his name? That's what they always do. Oh, his name, the Pentecost Akufo-Addo's Opoko Onyina. That's him. Now, so Opoko Onyina has been very, very, very active with the cathedral. God bless him. God bless his life for being very active on the cathedral matters. Now, they're asking Dr. Bawumia to shut up the religious critics. Just take Opoko Onyina and we are done. He's Akufo-Addo's friend. He will do it. He'll do that. If you go and tell him, he'll do it. Let Akufo-Addo tell him. He's Akufo-Addo's man. They are very close. Tell Opoko Onyina to be your running mate. And we finish then. Nobody's going to ask us any religious question. And they tell Dr. Bawumia that you don't need to go far to look for an example. Look at Muhammadu Buhari and Osibanjo. Osibanjo is Reverend Pastor Osibanjo from Redeem. When Buhari's ticket was placed, Obasanjo told them that, look, this is your ticket. You need to have a look at it. This Muslim thing, you're going to get Yoruba Southern Christians to say they will not go vote for you. You might not win. And you know, good luck. Jonathan is strong in the South. What do? So go for a pastor and put the matter beyond doubt. Full pastor. Osibanjo came in. Full pastor Opoko Onyina. Alhaji, the ball is in your court. What's the next ticket? Okay, this is the business ticket. So other people are saying that, look, Doc, right now in Ghana here, right now, the people who are most affected by the whole MPP second term situation is the business community. They are angry with you. They don't like your government. They say that domestic bonds have been taken. They say this. They say their port exemption has been cancelled. Everything is bazaar. And today we are announcing increase in taxes at the airport for domestic tickets. Businessmen are not happy. Businessmen control a lot in this country. Businessmen can help you to win the election. So, Alhaji Muhammadu Bawumia, please, 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 as they say, please, go for a businessman. Who is it going to be? Ernest Ofori-Sapon. Take Ernest Ofori-Sapon as your running mate. Let the business people feel that they are part of your ticket. Ernest Ofori-Sapon is Ashanti, by the way. He's a businessman. He belongs to the East Legon Club. He's one of those rich men who has a lot of white shirts. Okay, they wear the white shirts, and on Despite's birthday, they sort of go and jam around. But they control quite a lot, okay? So they are telling Dr. Bawumia that go for Ernest Ofori-Sapon. That's it. They control the bloggers, they control the musicians. All the musicians will come to your campaign. They won't go to John Mahama because all they need is a call from Despite and Ofori-Sapon that, hey, Dr. Bawumia is in Kintampo, Shatawale, Stoneboy, Kofi Kinata, name them. Abriwanana, Sydney. Yeah, I'm old. Sorry, forgive me. So let me go back. Reggie Rockstone. Yeah, Maka, that's Reggie Rockstone. And then you have a VIP. Let me go. Amachi Dede and Oboba J. Adolfo, CST Amankwa. You don't know those names. You're asking me who is CST Amankwa. Don't worry. When Despite used to be at Okanshi and he used to promote music, CST Amankwa was there. So all of these people are going to come and campaign for you. Then you're going to win. If you have all the musicians, you're going to win. Who can make that happen? The business community. Who is their candidate? Ernest Ofori-Sapon. Take him. But Ernest Ofori-Sapon, you see an MPP guy. Oh, it's Akufo-Addo's friend. Oh, if we've forgotten Akufo-Addo's friend, you remember 2015, before Akufo-Addo used to come and visit this man, So he's fine. He's okay, no problem. Choose Ofori-Sapon, he's fine. And Despite will back him. Ofori-Sapon, Despite, they don't separate. Anywhere Ofori-Sapon is, Despite will bring UTV, Hello FM, everything. Dr. Bawumia, just make that decision. And we go to 2024, we win. Okay? Next one is the public policy choice again, Ekufu Dampare. Dr. Bawumia is being told that, why don't you pick Ekufu Dampare as your running mate so that you can end all this confusion? We said a lot about Dampare already. He's on Mohammed's card. He's on Dr. Bawumia's card as well. Is that the end of the Dr. Bawumia ticket? Okay, I see that it's 8 minutes to the top of there. I might have to do the Alan Chermati and Kennedy Japan one on a Thursday. I'd like you to wait for it, isn't it? Then we'll do that on the Thursday. Oh, no, take it off, 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 take it off. Take it off takes how many minutes? All right, okay, all right. Okay, so let's take the text messages now, and then we'll see whether we can take the Alan and the Kennedy. You have to wait for it because it's heavy. Heavy, you have to wait for it. All right, let me start with you, Karen, if you're ready. What are you saying?
Okay, this one is from Alexander Lukes. He says, Paul, the deep political analysis given by you is overwhelming and it's so refreshing watching Good Evening Ghana. This is from Lukes from Dodoa. Paul, what you did today, the is beyond my imagination. Why? Because I always wonder how you get to know all this information about all these informations. But Paul, you have to be careful with your analysis, because I'm sure some people will be coming after you. Victoria Abigail says Napo should be the only non-economist to enter the Jubilee House with his diverse knowledge on developmental issues. Lastly, from Kwesi in team says Paul go kill we. Over to you.
So this is coming from Daniel Akan. Very honestly, Ursula is a woman of class and very strong and articulated, but her posturing makes Ghanaians not to like her. It is a very bad ticket for anyone who picks her. Coming from Kwejo Boache, Alan, big no. Ken, no. Napo, 30%. Dam, no. Educhum, 30%. Isiama, no. The last person is for joke. God will touch Baumia's heart to choose and choose well. Over to you, Angelo.
Man Joe says, Alan win and will choose Samuel Abuja Napo to capture the northern and Savannah regions. And then this says, Paul, I'm Ato Forcing from Tema. Please, Baumia is good. He has done his part with his father, Nana Addo. We thank him very much, but now we just want a businessman. We have had it with all the coat-wearing people. Now we want a casual man who has tasted paying taxes at the port, and also someone who has businesses around. Simple. Back to you, Paul.
Okay, so I have been told I have enough time to sort of deal with the Alan Kyerematen one. Let's get on with it. So give me Alan single. Give me Alan Kyerematen single. Let me deal with it. The text messages on my phone are actually very, very interesting. Okay, so let's deal with the Alan one. So this is Alan Kyerematen, okay, and this is first photograph. He was the heir apparent to the MPP ticket, except that now he's facing a stiff opposition from other candidates, especially Vice President Mahamudu Bawumia. So Alan is being told that go to this contest, good luck, and hope that you win. Okay, so let's assume that Alan Kyerematen wins the ticket. Now he has to be looking for a running mate in the north. Okay, the revolutionary one that's coming. That if this contest occurs and Alan Kyerematen wins, Alan Kyerematen and his supporters must know that for them to break the 8 as winning the ticket, there has to be a Bawumia mix in the thing because of the enormous tentacles of Alhaji Mahamudu Bawumia over the last 2000 and let's even give it from 2013 up to 2023, the last 10 years. Dr. Bawumia's influence on politics in Ghana and politics in the MPP means that you cannot go to the 2024 if Dr. Bawumia doesn't win the election. You still have to have a Bawumia on the ticket. How do you do that? No, not Kennedy Japan. Oh no, sorry. So let's go to Alan's parents, please. Let's go to Alan's parents. All right. Yes, this is what I'm looking for. So if Alan Kyerematen wins, he has to take Samira Bawumia as his running mate. That's the way to have a Bawumia on the ticket. And that's the way to benefit from the entire influence and spread of tentacles that Alhaji Bawumia has had over this party. Is that too revolutionary for you to think about? Alan Kyerematen wins, he has to pick Samira as his running mate. Yes, he has to. Why? Because you have to have a Bawumia on the ticket. Why? Because for the last 10 years, Alhaji Bawumia's tentacles are spread deep into the party and the politics of the country. If you want to benefit from that, if you want to be able to harvest that, that's the word I'm looking for. You want to harvest the Bawumia effect. You need Samira Bawumia on the ticket. And wow, Samira Bawumia is a great campaigner. We all know that. We saw her in 2016. We saw her in 2020. She's a competent, complete package of a political person. So think about that. All right, then Alan still has to go for a woman ticket. Hajia Alima Mahama is in the United States. She's Ghana's ambassador over there. And this is, please get the Bagwin video ready. Bagwin video on Haruna Idris. I have to talk about that when I get there. So this is Hajia. They are telling Alan that you can pick Hajia as well. Don't you think so? She comes from the north. He also comes from the same town as Alhaji Bawumia. She comes from Mamprugu, Nalarego. She was Nalarego MP before. She comes from the same place as Alhaji Bawumia. So if you have to have a Bawumia effect and you really don't want Samira because of something, then you have to go for Hajia. But the Hajia ticket is like Alan. She's very calm. She's welcoming. She's not your very brutal. She's not on the brutal end of politics. So they say that the two of them are alike, and in politics you have to choose the repelling one. Hot and cold is always better for the ticket. So that's Hajia Alima Mahama. Then there is John Peter Mewu, which has been making the rounds a little bit even before the campaign contest has now fully started. John Peter Mewu is from the Volta region. Alan Kyerematen is thought to be very popular in the Volta region as well. And they say that if Alan Kyerematen wins, he should pick somebody from the Volta region, and he should pick John Peter Mewu as his running mate. Okay, now let's go for the revolutionary one, the Haruna Idrisu one. Before I do the Haruna, I hope you have it quick. We have Haruna Idrisu and Alan Kyerematen. Before I do the Haruna Idrisu one, I'm going to talk to you about the Speaker of Parliament today, Sumani Kingsford Bagbe. Now, people are asking Alan Kyerematen that, look at what is happening in NDC. If you win this contest and you really want to break the 8, if you don't have it, just let me have just Alan here, okay? If you don't have Haruna Idrisu, let me just have Alan. If you are able to win this and you have to break the 8, cross over to the NDC. Take Idrisu Haruna as your running mate. He's not happy. Asedu Nkatia has disturbed him. He used to be with the MPP. That's where he started his politics. And that's how President Akufo-Addo congratulated him in 2017 for rising to the position of minority leader. Alan, hurry up. Go and take Haruna Idrisu. He is a Dagomba guy. Go and grab him. After all, they say Asante Kotoko and they say Dagomba Kotoko. And that way, John Mahama is finished. And grabbing means what? Is he going to resign from the NDC? Well, he goes to the running mate slot with shared post. So Haruna will have Ministry of Interior. He will give that to Mutala Mohammed. Haruna will have something. He will give it to Mubarak. What's his name? Muntaka Mubarak. Mubarak Muntaka. He will have cabinet post to share for some people. That way, you finish John Mahama forever. Revolutionary times require revolutionary thinking. Breaking the 8 is not simple. Go for Haruna Idrisu. I am suspecting that Alban Sumano Kingsford Bagbe, the Right Honourable Speaker, is aware of this conversation. And that's why he said what he said in Parliament today. Listen to him.
One door closes, many doors open. And I tell you for sure that many of the open doors are better and higher than the closed door. Look at the open doors and not the closed one. When one door closes, many doors open. And I tell you for sure that many of the open doors are better and higher than the closed door. Look at the open doors and not the closed.
All right. Look at the open doors and not the closed ones. I tell you, the open doors are better than the closed ones. I live here. Do we have any other one? I live in here. That's Alban Sumano Kingsford Bagbe. It appears that he knows what we also have been hearing, and that's why he said the things he said. Karen, let me take you first on the text. But as we wrap up on Good Evening Ghana tonight, oh, it's been a wonderful time with you viewers all the time.
From Eric Kofi, he says, Sir Paul, great program tonight. How is the technical team member doing today after taking ill during last Thursday's show? Hopefully he's better and responding to treatment. Many blessings to you guys. He's doing very great. Thanks for your concern, Eric. And lastly, from Aruba Eshon, he said, now Paul, you want to bring problem. Over to you.
So Hiroshima guy says, Paul, I think Dr. Bawumia and Dr. Idrisu is the best bet. Not only for the NPP, but also for Ghana's picture. Look at what Dr. Idrisu is doing in education, how he is championing STEM, education infrastructure. When was the last time we heard about issues with SHS placement? This man moved the free SHS from double track to a single track. We need a new dimension to our educational system, and that is what Dr. Idrisu is doing. Over to you, Angela.
Right. Sibawe Bewa says, anticipates Bawumia Napo 2024. Check out their body chemistry. On point. The richest wealth is wisdom. The strongest weapon is patience. The best security is faith. The most effective tone is laughter. His Excellency Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia, DMB, and the indefatigable Minister Extraordinaire, Honorable Dr. Matthew Poku Prempeh Napo. He continues, hashtag trust the process, and that's it for me. Back to you, Paul.
Okay, that's about it for tonight. And that's about it for our show tonight. Thank you very much for watching. We'll be back on another edition. Let's continue the conversation on Facebook. It is always delightful to bring you Good Evening Ghana. Thanks for watching and good night.
Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments. Metro TV, insightful and inspiring moments.